Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Unfiltered stream. You all know me. I'm Sam, Saviour of the Universe, also known as Flash Gordon. We'll let Kragle tell you more about that and how I saved the day once upon a time with my flowing golden locks and my big buff body. That was all in a dream. Tonight, I do have some guests, and I must, before we go any further, firstly remind you, this is read the banner. It's an unfiltered stream. We are going to do crazy stuff. Second of all, if you've not seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, walk away now if you don't want spoilers, because there will be spoilers tonight. I promised Kragle that we would have a stream where he could unload everything he wanted to say, do, and feel and think about Ghostbusters Afterlife. So here it is. He is going to shower me with his sweet sticky sauce, add his thoughts and opinions, and let me know what he really thinks. And on that note, here is the Welshman himself and his sweet sticky sauce. Kragle.
I don't know if I've got any sweet sticky sauce left now, because you promised me to stream last week, and I saw the movie for a third time in anticipation, but I haven't seen it this week, so it's not fresh in my mind as much as it was. So I might be all sauced out.
What are you telling me you bust your load early?
Well, not for the first time.
Well, on that note, hoping to help Kragle build up his stash of sticky sauce. It's the man from Utah with many boxes and many phallic-shaped objects. It's Joe Chambers.
I just don't approve of this sticky sauce talk. Like, this is one of those situations where I'm like, is this some sort of like, I'm lost in translation between British English, or do I need this today?
Keep that handy. You might need it.
I don't like the sticky sauce, because when someone says sticky sauce, I think of barbecue sauce, and no, I'm not a fan of barbecue sauce. Can we not go with protein shake, maybe?
Okay. Oh. High in fiber, low in fat, high in protein. What?
And that is 3 minutes 19 seconds in.
Well done, everybody.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
How are we all today, gentlemen?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Sam?
Good, thanks, mate.
It still throws me off when you're like, tonight on the stream I'm like, dude, it's 1 o'clock for me in the afternoon.
Oh, don't talk to me about this. I've been doing daily shorts of me opening the Lego Marvel Advent Calendar, and they've actually done pretty well. But today I woke up to like a dozen comments on one of them when I opened the 11th, and I went live just after midnight UK time. So I thought, why not?
Yeah.
Basically, one accidentally went live at that time and did really well. So I figured I'd try again, see if lightning strikes twice. Today, though, I had a bunch of comments, I'm guessing from people in the States, going, it's not the 11th, it's the 10th. It's like time zones are a thing, you know?
Time zones.
I had one. No one.
And in the US, we're well acquainted with time zones. We have so many states. We have 4 different time zones in the whole country.
Yeah, you mean you have one time zone for being on a mountain, so...
No. If you're in a mountain anywhere in the U.S., you're in the mountain time zone. So if you're in the Appalachian Mountains on the East Coast,
that's it, mate.
What happens if you're on a hill? Do you like in between time zones?
Yes, in between time zones, but it has to be over 4,000 feet above sea level.
And if you're on a hill that is just below the legal quota for a mountain, and you jump really high, you cross time zone.
That's a big jump.
That's
Yeah,
gotta be a sign.
I then had one at 12:30 UK time, and I'm pretty sure by that point, all of the US would have been, on the 11th.
Okay.
But I did get a comment from someone from Australia who was like, "It's been the 11th for ages now. We're getting ready for the 12th." Like,
Excellent. You can always count on Australians to bring you back down to earth, right? Can't you?
yeah.
Says the man who's intimately acquainted with an Australian.
I have no idea what you mean. This is crazy talk here, Joe. I can say that without fear of repercussion because she's not here tonight.
Oh,
You might be
jeez.
watching though, right?
There's
She
Mrs.
may be
Krabble is here. Hello, Mrs. Krabble. Jacob is here. Krabble. Ma'am, I need a hat so I can be like, ma'am.
Who else we got? Jacob.
We got Jacob. We got the BrickKeeper. Who's that?
That's this guy. Yeah,
Oh,
don't worry about him. We got someone called Enzo Souza Official. Hello. Cajun Yeti was half an hour early, but we'll take it anyway. How you doing?
Who invited that kid?
I tell you what, he's a comedian. He is.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, Cajun was early for my stream yesterday. He popped in like before the stream started, and then we never saw him again.
Flex and flea, mate.
He might just get tired of the yakking and just bug out. I mean, honestly, if I ran into this stream on accident, I'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
In a good way?
Depends on the time of day and what I have imbibed, if you will.
Fair enough, yeah.
I was going to say the flex and flee though. That's a space-time copyrighted move. That is.
What is?
Space-time joined one of my streams and it's like, "Hey, I got Lego Video bandmates. I have all of them now," and then just left. We say it was the flex and flee.
So speaking of Lego, who's working on what tonight?
I don't know. I'm half and half. Maybe you guys can help me decide. Shall I turn my cam on and build some of the Home Alone set, or should I work on studio on the other project?
I personally think you should do Home Alone.
I might agree with you on that one.
I thought you'd be about the other one.
Purely because we can have a discussion about Home Alone. We can't have a discussion about the other one yet until you're ready.
I guess. I mean, I already showed it on Spacetime stream.
Yeah, but that was like a version 1 tease.
Yeah, true. KJ says they can't hear a thing.
If we're all really quiet.
I don't know, because Mrs. CrackleKragle put some laugh emojis when we were talking about sticky sauce, so I think we should be okay.
Yeah. If you can hear us, put a thumbs up. If you can't hear us, put a thumbs down.
How are they going to know to put a thumbs down if they can't hear you?
Well, this is the test. This is the test.
Execute him.
He knows too much. Oh, Mrs. CrackleKragle says I can hear you all fine. There you go.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mrs. CrackleKragle. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mrs. CrackleKragle. I'm so sorry. I think. Okay, he can hear us now.
Okay.
I think what we need to do is set up another stream where Mrs. CrackleKragle, Lady Sam, and Emily, my wife, just get together and just like it's just them going. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't understand.
Is that Mrs. CrackleKragle? People don't realize she's worse than me. I'm like Mrs. CrackleKragle light. So, you know,
Whoa.
you can't handle me. You're definitely going to handle Mrs. CrackleKragle.
Okay.
You're
all right.
Mrs. CrackleKragle light.
That revelation was so shocking. Sam's webcam just died.
I know. It's like he's gone.
Can't handle it.
Okay. Well, okay. Classic tangent. Kraggle, I think you should work on Home Alone.
Okay.
I mean, but it's your life, man. I'm not here to tell you what to do, bro. Just
You do you.
you got to do you, bro. Got to do it. I'm gonna work on this for a little while. As I told Sam a little earlier, yes, I already built this. However, I disassembled it to use parts for.
Oh, I recognize that. That's the hold it up. It's the UCS TV aerial set.
That's it, mate. It's rather good.
Look at it and tell me it doesn't look like an old-fashioned TV aerial.
It does.
It does.
Hey, look, man. I'll be honest. It does.
And it's propping up Skylab at the moment for me. It said it's propping up Skylab at the moment.
I know, right?
Here's what I don't get about Skylab. Skylab isn't outer space, right? So it's not actually in the sky. It's left the sky. It's
I mean,
if
you're down on the ground and you look up, it's in the sky. Technically, it's vaporized right now and in several million pieces scattered throughout Australia. But yeah, it was in the sky.
What do they do? Shoot their Death Star at it?
There is a funny story that I think Australia sued NASA because for littering, or it killed a jackrabbit when like an oxygen tank killed a jackrabbit or something. So the Australian government sued NASA for damages to wildlife. Like there's almost like it's a joke, and NASA has never paid it. Obviously, you can't really control where it, burned up. But I mean, it's true that they sued NASA, and NASA never paid.
I'll tell you what, with interest.
Americans not paying their bills. Like, who would afford that?
Crazy.
Let's not go there. The American government not paying medical bills? Never mind. Never mind. So I have two other things I might want to talk about. Number one, I would like to ask professional opinions of the two of you. I'm trying to fine tune my.
Let me stop you right there. You've come to the wrong place for professional opinions.
Oh.
We talked about this yesterday when you said that, you didn't want to derail the stream and you didn't want to have, bad content. Dude, this is not the place for professionalism.
I might have been horribly mistaken about your nature, Sam. I thought.
However, we will give advice. Maybe not professional, just advice.
I have decided I am going to work on studio because that way, if I get stuck, I can ask you guys advice because you both work with studios.
Okay, that's kind of what I was going to ask. I'm kind of refining my what is the term? My style guide for instructions, and I want to ask opinions of what looks better, this, or this. So there's that. I'll do later. The other thing, you might think I want to open this up. I don't yet.
It's just a box that's in the way, isn't it?
Right. I have this monstrosity sitting here that if you guys want to take a look at it later or now. Sorry, that's the UCS Millennium Falcon if you can't see it. And I just finished building it. So
I honestly thought you were pointing to that red lipstick holder that you've got on your top shelf there, mate. I was wondering why you've got something exactly the same as what I've got.
Oh, the dog dick? That's my
yes. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. This one.
This one? That if I stroke it just right. Okay, anyway. Yes, it's your black arrow. It's back there, yes.
It looks good stood next to your deltas and your little Soyuz there.
That's not my Soyuz. That's our dear friend Sam Bradford, who gave that to me. I don't know if he designed that, but he's the one that shared the instructions with me, and I done built it.
Have you done his Falcon 9?
I haven't.
I
don't know. I have this weird.
It was good.
I have this weird thing against I don't know, SpaceX. I don't know. I love what they're doing, but I'm just like, yeah, it's too popular. I can't build anything.
One of those.
Too trendy.
It's too trendy. That's what it is. It's too trendy.
Too trendy. Too hip.
Yeah, there are people starving in the world, but I have enough money that I'm going to start my own goddamn space program, kind of thing. I don't know.
Too mainstream.
Too mainstream. Yeah.
So, how did you enjoy the UCS Falcon?
It was good. It was really interesting.
How long?
What?
How long?
I just kind of casually did it over about a week.
Okay, not bad.
So, sure, I'll give my review real quick. I'll bring it over here.
I'm gonna give you a bit of the up front here, so you can.
Okay. Here's problem number one. It's so aggressively big.
That's what she said.
Exactly. Okay. So it is huge. Like, they're not kidding. This is Ultimate Collector Series right there. It's got a lot of neat things in it, like the entrance ramp.
Yeah.
Just really, really clean and smooth, opens and closes, and the mechanism in there is like, I was like, I got to remember that technique because it's very interesting. So my major drawbacks to this is, for a professional Lego set, it is kind of flimsy. It doesn't feel super solid. Okay. And I understand, like, how else are you going to make this thing? But, like, for instance, like, these panels here are just kind of attached on there at, like, maybe a couple points. Like, this entire panel, like, that's all it's attached with right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's not attached. It's just you put it on. That being said, I kind of racked my brain to try to figure out, how else are you going to do that? Because of all the weird angles they're at. But yeah, I mean, you saw how I had to pick it up. The structure it's stable. It's not going to fall apart. It just feels flimsy.
Right. Okay.
You realize it's not a playset, though, right?
Correct. However, it does have a lot of panels you can lift off, and, like, you can look at some rooms inside. I don't know if you can see. Yep. See? That's not supposed to come off.
Do you know what, though? I've seen people display this vertically.
Yep. So and that's what I want to do, and so I'm probably gonna have to go through and modify a bunch of things, or
is it possible?
I know, guys.
Incorrectly.
Hold on, I might have to use glue. CutTheKragle, if you will.
Oh God!
No.
Right, can we kick this guy, please? I reckon you just built it incorrectly.
No. So,
because I've seen people pick that up and shake it around and nothing's fallen off it. I feel like you've just done it wrong.
Oh, I don't know. I followed the instructions really well. Okay.
I don't know. So, I saw you build part of this live, and I heard a couple of times, "Oh, what have I done here?"
Oh no. Okay, so that's my first and primary complaint. my second complaint is the manual, the instructions, which are huge. And this is my only complaint, that they bound it in one book.
Yeah. Separate books would have been a better way to go for that, I feel.
Separate books would have been better. I honestly, if that wasn't the if that wasn't the problem, I love this. It's kind of like more of it looks more collector's edition sort of thing.
I feel like that's why they did that. I think that they purposely put it as one book to have it as a statement. Like, look at the size of the manual. We had to put ring binder on it. When really, practically, what you'd prefer to have is a couple of different manuals, at least, you know?
Right, because I wanted to invite my brother-in-law over and work on it with him. There just wasn't a practical way to do that without unbinding it and like sharing.
Yeah.
I mean, the other way would be to get one of you on digital instructions, maybe.
Yeah, and I thought of that too, but yeah, I guess you're right. We could have done that.
You foiled his plan there, Kragle.
My other complaint is that they included anything from the newer movies, like whatever. No, I'm kidding. It does have a bunch of nice, like, again, I'm not into minifigs, but I know a lot of people are. You know, they had C-3PO, they had Rey, Finn.
If I remember correctly, though, there's not a single unique minifigure, though, is there, to that set? Or maybe the Han is the old, not that Han, but the original trilogy era. Maybe I think he's a slight variant.
Okay, and I put the original trilogy. I put Han, Chewie, and Leia in the cockpit, and they fit.
Yeah.
And of course, it comes with a few little porgs.
Yeah. Well, the thing with this is that this set came out just before The Last Jedi, so a lot of people were still, you know, favorably looking towards the sequel trilogy because The Force Awakens, you know, was, you know, quite well received. So, of course, now we've had The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker completely soured that for us.
Correct.
And some of us liked The Last Jedi. I don't like Rise of Skywalker. Anyway, let's not go there. So other than that, so those small complaints out of the way. Goddamn, this set is insane. It's incredible. It's the techniques and the amount of greebling and how the greebling techniques. I'm just like, I got to take pictures of this. I got to remember this greebling technique and this one. It's incredible. The amount of thought that went into this is very apparent. Somebody spent a lot of time on this. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than if you have $800 and a love of Star Wars, go for it. Other than that, it's aggressively big.
Yeah, I may have gone an even better deal on the one.
Okay.
It was basically reduced down. I forget the exact numbers now, but it was reduced down to a stupid amount on Zavvi, which is a UK company, but on the US version of their website. Now, from my other US buddies who've ordered from Zavvi, I know that it always ships from the UK. And there was also a secret code that one of our friends had somehow got hold of that knocked a further, I think, 20% off. So I tried my luck and ordered it on the US site, entering my UK address with the code. The order went through. I fully expected it to be cancelled, kind of forgot about it, and then one day there's a knock at the door, and there it was.
And there it is.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
and you haven't built it yet.
There's another person joining us.
Okay.
25 minutes late to the party, but maybe we'll let him off. It's space time.
Yay!
See,
What's up, Peter?
I thought I was 5 minutes early. For some reason, I thought it was 1:30.
Okay.
I'll be sure to use.
Well, here you go. I found how much I got it for. So basically, on the UK's Azavi, the retail price for the UCS Falcon is £649.99 Great British pounds.
Okay.
They had it down to $519.99. But on the US, it was $649.99 with free shipping and using the special code. So basically, I got it down from £649.99 to £472.
Wow.
So that was a heck of a deal.
Yeah. I mean, okay, there's the other drawback. It's a set that has 7,500 pieces and costs $200 more than the Titanic, which has 9,000 pieces. Like, you're paying for licensing on this one.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And people say Star Wars licensing doesn't exist.
It does. The problem is, whenever someone tries to say it doesn't exist, they use percentages and show how there's no consistent thing. And my argument is, it's not a consistent license fee that exact percentage on there. It just means that when they work out the prices, you will always pay more for a licensed set than a non-licensed one. If you've got the same amount of figures, same amount of parts, it's going to cost more if it's got that brand attached to it.
Correct. Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, I just got it because it's kind of as part of my business. Anyway, Jacob is asking, where would I place this on my top Lego sets list? I don't know, Jacob. It's definitely up there. It's almost like, let me put it this way. It's in a different class. It's on a different level than a lot of the other sets. As far as huge sets I've built, this is the first huge set I've built. I'll compare it to the Titanic once I start working on that. But as far as how fun it was to build, I would say it was as fun as the Y-wing, which is one of my favorites that I've built, just because of all the greebling and how unique it looks. But honestly, my favorite set is that really awesome Skylab set that you can get right there from Skylab Bricks on Etsy. Okay, I'll stop talking about the Millennium Falcon unless any of you have questions.
Anyone have any questions about Millennium Falcon before we get into the real nitty-gritty of why we're all here?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. You've done well today in today's show and tell.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to review things. I do official Lego sets to decompress. I don't have to think about it. I just do it. So it was fun. It was fun. That's all. And now I got to figure out what the hell to do with it. Okay. Peter, how you doing? Eating breakfast, lunch,
Eating,
dinner?
Breakfast.
Okay. We're in the same time zone. Yeah.
So, the title of this stream has a film in it. Are we going to talk about that film or?
Yes, we are. Yes, we damn well are, Kragle. So, as you really wanted this outlet so you could talk about it and share your love and desire and your sticky slime and whatever, do you want to go first?
No.
No. Wow. I feel we've all been led here under false pretenses.
Well, I hated it.
Oh, the
Controversial.
gauntlet has been thrown.
Have you gone back to hating it for FaceTime?
No, I'm just joking. I'm
Oh.
lukewarm. I can enjoy it for what it is, but as like a film critic, it upsets.
As a film critic, do not pretend that you are in any way a film critic.
I critique films.
Oh, okay. Well, I cook food, therefore I'm a chef.
Good logic, because that's the logic I use every day.
Look, I'm solidly of the opinion that we underuse the term good. Like, the movie was good. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was just good.
This film was fantastic.
Okay, great.
It falls apart when like a lot of Sony productions with the product placement at Walmart. It just it makes me sick.
Get over it. Oh,
it makes me
word.
sick.
Oh my word. FaceTime, dude. That is enough for you to go, oh, I don't like this film.
See, to be honest with me, I kind of get that because you've got to be able to fund the film, and you know, sometimes you do have to just sell a tiny little bit of your soul, just
I
to
know
get a film out.
it's just so gratuitous with Sony Pictures.
Yes, I just saw. I know it was a direct to video movie, but my wife and I just watched Home Sweet Home Alone, and the BMW product placement was probably the worst I've ever seen. Anyway, also not a great movie, not a good movie, maybe an okay movie.
What?
Maybe.
Home Sweet Home Alone?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard it's dire.
Yeah. Okay. I was giving it some extra points because the main character kid is British.
We'd let you off on this one. I think we're all ready to disown him.
Okay. I'm kidding. Please continue about.
I mean, I haven't seen it, so I can't tell. I'm just surprised I've not heard anyone say anything remotely nice about that film. So you've seen it, it was just okay. It's like the highest praise I've heard of the movie.
I'm trying to be nice to my wife, who absolutely thought it was hilarious.
Wow.
I had a hard time with it.
That sounds like a man who doesn't want to sleep on the sofa. So good luck, Joe. We'll help you on your endeavor.
Okay. Anyway, talk more about Ghost Smashers or Bust Ghosters or whatever this.
I mean, Joe actually just made a really cool reference, even if he doesn't realize it, because Ghost Smashers was the original title.
because of that real crappy TV show back in the day called Ghostbusters.
That's right.
Ugh.
Ah, look at this. Joe is actually a secret super fan. He's just trying to play cool because Ghostbusters is really popular right now, and he doesn't like popular things.
He doesn't do trendy.
No, it's because of the nerdy podcasts I listen to and some of the other things I watch that I glean all this information from it. And I really do love the first movie. I thought it was really great, and I grew up on the Real Ghostbusters cartoon show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I love that.
Great segue, Joe.
I believe it's pronounced Segu.
If you haven't seen it, if you grow up on the Real Ghostbusters cartoon, you should head over to CutTheKragle's channel.
Okay.
And take a look at this really cool video we did together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we designed a set that's that's based on a toy from the cartoon. So you'd recognize it and you'd enjoy it. I'll send you the link.
Okay, send it to my phone.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't honestly. I don't know because I don't know where to begin because I haven't seen the film recently. Apart from that, I really loved it.
Right, Kraggle, for a start, that's bollocks because you've seen it like what 4 times now?
3 times.
3 times.
I just want to say I don't know where to start like a conversation about this. I mean, Space Time, his opinion of the movie changes every time I see him. Anyway, so he changes his opinion on Ghostbusters Afterlife more than he changes his underwear.
Twice a day.
I know that you love it. You haven't seen it.
Hey, but Kraggle, listen. I really do enjoy listening to people talk about something that they love. Like, so I want to hear what
I will say this, right? As much as I say I love
sell it to me, Kraggle. Sell it to me. Like, say
if you're a fan of the first movie, you will love this movie.
Okay. Counterpoint, Peter, go.
If you love the first movie, you can watch it again by watching this movie.
And that is the one thing that I can see where he's coming from in terms of, and I know that you say don't care about spoilers, so forgive me. I feel like this film should have had a new threat, a new baddie, because they bring back the baddie from the first film. And to be honest with you, the way they do it is fine. I would like a little bit more explanation about some of the lore of Ghostbusters. I know people say that. I read one review was like, we don't like Ghostbusters for the lore, but there is a surprising amount of lore in the Ghostbusters franchise. You know, Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, they knew about parapsychology and history and mythology and stuff, and they put a lot of that into the movies, and also the video game, which for the longest time was considered the third movie. And I just would have liked a little bit more of an explanation about the existence of the temple, the second temple in this movie, and whether that was something that happened afterwards or it was like a backup plan or whatever. But the way they brought back the baddie, I thought was fantastic. So it's hard for me to not like it. And it also, again, this is a spoiler stream, so I'm not even going to be vague. It is a great segue into how they bring back the original remaining Ghostbusters. I mean, you would have had some of the great lines of Venkman delivers, which apparently a lot of them were ad-libbed by Bill Murray, which I don't know why I say apparently. It's obvious they were. You wouldn't have gotten those with a whole new villain. Do you know what I mean? You would have had to explain to the old Ghostbusters who this new villain is and everything. So as I kind of passing of the torch thing, I kind of feel like they were right. What I don't want is for Ghostbusters 4 to bring back Vigo. You know, I don't want it to be another, it's the old villain. This one, I think, okay, we've had the 2 generations share a victory over this villain that we've seen before. Let's go in a new direction now. You know?
So my question is, what's his name? Bill Murray. Bill Murray was in the movie. Did he show up to the movie, though?
As in, did he just phone it in, or was he good in the movie?
Yes.
He's good.
Okay.
They used the new Ghostbusters very sparingly. I wish they hadn't even shown it, because after I saw the movie, I went back and watched the last 2 trailers they released, which I purposely avoided, and they show the 3 Ghostbusters showing up in the last trailer, and I feel like it happens so later in the movie, and it's they're used sparingly, that it was a great surprise.
Okay.
When I saw the film, that I feel would be taken away if you're just watching the trailer and go, you're kind of waiting for that to happen then, you know?
Okay, so compare it to Luke showing up. Wait. Crap. Compare it to that thing, what happens at end of Mandalorian. Damn it.
Do you know what, dude? Just
That's
go with
been out ages, man.
See, and for me, that's the worst part of Mandalorian season 2.
Oh God,
Yeah,
Peter!
wait.
Honestly, can you not like anything? Oh my word! You have no joy in your soul. You just wake up. You wake up late. You turn to a stream late. You eat your breakfast and decide, I'm not going to like anything today.
No. Was it the execution or the concept of him showing up?
The concept.
Okay.
Oh,
I understand that. Okay, I get you.
I would more be understanding with the execution personally, but
I think compare it to let's say they were doing a solo. I'm trying to pick a small DC character that the Atom. They were doing a solo series about him, and he's not able to save the day at the end of the series, and then Superman shows up and does it for him. And it's like, oh, okay.
I don't know about that because Mando had already defeated Moff Gideon, so he'd had his victory. It was
but they were all gonna die with the Death Troop.
But they literally wrote themselves into this corner on purpose to have Luke come in. They only got rid of the Death Troopers. They had them come back to be this, If he had got to the final act and been on his ass the whole time and not been able to do anything, and then Luke turned up and saved them all, that would have pissed me off. But they all performed really well. They took down most of the crew. Mando took Moff Gideon in a 1-to-1 fight. So it was just that final bit. They needed a Jedi, which is what the whole season was about. If they had done a whole season of them looking for a Jedi in that era and Luke hadn't turned up, I would have been pissed.
Yeah, like you say, the whole season was the premise of looking for the Jedi.
I know,
but knowing what the Jedi were.
Came to him.
Huh?
They didn't find the Jedi. Luke came to them. So it's like...
but they went to that rock and Grogu called out to him.
Yeah, I understand that. But it's just like... I would have handled it differently.
Oh, of course you will, because you're not only a film critic, you're a world-famous writer-director as well, aren't you?
Of course.
John Favreau,
I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest and sharing my opinion.
No, it's fine. I'm only ripping you. I'm only ripping you. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I'm just being honest to the viewers as well. I still enjoy Mandalorian. It's not the breaking point for me, but it's what I consider the weakest part of the series for me.
Do you know what the most positive thing about the Mandalorian is to me? It wasn't an end of the universe kind of thing. It was it was stories, and
that's what's really great about it.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Mandalorian made me excited for Star Wars again.
Yes, I will agree with that as
well. And also, I did have issues with Mandalorian. I'm just like, well, this was refreshing. I liked that. I can, and the other thing with Homeboy showing up at the last episode, I have the same issues that Peter does. I just liked it differently, I guess.
But I was totally blown away from it. I'm like, this is freaking cool. But just from a creative standpoint, I'm like, this really undercuts the story.
Okay.
I disagree, but okay. I mean, I would say, similar to what you said, Joe, is how I feel about them. As I said, them bringing Gozer back in Ghostbusters. I can totally see where Peter's coming from. And when I was watching it for the first time, and I was like, oh, they're going this route, I felt a little bit of disappointment. I won't lie to you. I was kind of hoping for a new baddie. But the way that it was executed, and having watched it a couple of times now, I think it was probably the right move. However, I have heard rumors, and I really hope this is just bullshit, that they're planning on bringing Vigo back for the next one, and that would just be too much. Because it's like I said with the sequel trilogy, the problem with that was that it wasn't a new threat for a generation. It undermined what came before.
Yeah.
Now, Ghostbusters Afterlife sort of basically avoids that because they don't undermine the victory of the first film. It's
an extension.
Yeah, exactly. And also, what I love about it is that where they defeat Gozer, is a collaborative effort. The new people try, they can't do it. The old crew try, they can't do it. But together, they succeed. And it's a proper, collaborative effort, and it's a proper handing of the torch now. It feels like, okay, they've had that joint victory, now they've passed the baton over,
Yeah.
That's why I liked it, and that's why I think it works.
A question:
Were there any streams crossed? Did they cross the streams?
They did, yeah.
Oh shit!
But it didn't work.
They
cross the streams. The three remaining Ghostbusters, they turn up and they're quite cocky, and they cross the streams and they wrap around Gozer. And the first when they did this, I was like, "Hey, this shouldn't work," because they didn't fire the streams at Gozer when they crossed them. They fired it at the gateway. And Egon said, if the particle flow can be reversed, it can suck Gozer back through, right? So just crossing the streams of Gozer, I was like, this isn't going to work. And lo and behold, she uncrosses the streams and sends them flying on their ass. That's not how they defeat Gozer.
Okay.
But I like that they tried it, because to me, the reason why it didn't work is because they misunderstood or misremembered how it worked the first time. It wasn't crossing the streams at Gozer. They crossed it at the doorway to send Gozer back, which can't happen this time because Gozer comes back a different way.
Yeah.
But thematically, people have said it didn't work because there was only 3 streams. Egon wasn't there. So it can be read in 2 different ways, and I like that about it.
It just sounds like we're discussing a porn.
That just clarified.
You've gone over the tone, Joe, haven't you?
No, cross the stream! No, cross the streams!
They were crossing the streams. They weren't crossing swords.
Although I do believe in the original film, the crossing the streams was meant to be like a joke about basically men peeing alongside each other.
Oh, dear.
And there's the whole thing in Ghostbusters 2 where if the slime was white, all the lines of dialogue would take on a whole new meaning. Why am I dripping with goo? They came from behind. I love you, man. I love you too.
You do raise a valid point.
I never recolored it. Someone recolored it on YouTube. I think it's been taken down now. But someone uploaded the clip, and all they did is they recolored the pink slime white, and it just plays out so differently.
Oh dear.
So
this was in the days before monetization, So
what's the analogy of when they're in the elevator and they turn on the proton pack and you hear it
switch me on,
and the other 2 are like stepping back away from him. Okay, anyway.
I think one thing that me and Spaceman agree on, though, was McKenna Grace's performance, right?
Oh, absolutely. She carried the movie.
She was amazing. Absolutely outstanding.
Which actress?
McKenna Grace.
Okay. The little girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird to think that she's 15 now because obviously the film was delayed by almost 2 years. So.
Oh boy.
But on it, yeah, so talented. I mean, the whole cast is it's a really well cast movie. But she stands out so well, and she is the heart and soul of the movie. It's her story, basically.
Okay.
I was blown away by her performance, and then that fact that she recorded the song for the end credits as well.
Well, she wrote it as well, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multi-talented. Just there going, come on, heck.
Did any of you watch the most recent season of Stranger Things?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The Never-Ending Story song.
Yes.
Oh God.
I don't know why I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And somehow it actually works.
It's the
somehow this works.
What is it? It's the whole theory of juxtaposition, isn't it? Putting like a really cheesy, corny song over life and death threatening situation.
I mean, It's the same kind of humor of why I put Princess Unikitty in half of my builds. It does not belong here. Why is this here?
Doesn't belong, but it works.
It belongs. It belongs because it doesn't belong. We have a question. If you guys had to choose between season 1 or season 2 of Mandalorian, which one would you prefer?
Ooh,
One.
I think two, because
I think
this is probably an unpopular opinion. I was slow to get on board with The Mandalorian. I liked the first 2 episodes, but I wasn't blown away like everyone was.
Okay.
To me, it was quite predictable, and I was kind of like, okay. And the other thing that was in the back of my mind is that I felt like this was Disney doing the Boba Fett and IG-88, but like the Diet Coke versions of them.
Okay.
In the first 2 episodes, but then by episode 3, I was hooked. So I would say it season 2 because I don't think there was a single episode where it really lulled in season 2. I'm trying to think.
No, I don't. I think you're right there, Kragle. For me, I was probably much the same as you with season 1. Like you say, I watched the first 2 episodes and then it was like, yeah, all right, cool, whatevs. But I didn't really take to it, and then it wasn't until, in fact, ashamedly, it was 2020 when I was flying out to the US.
For the last,
I downloaded it all on my iPad for the flight, and I thought, well, when's a better time? I've got 2 weeks in quarantine. I've got an 8.5 hour flight. I might as well sit here and get through it. I got through it all on the flight, and I sat there and went, yeah, actually, that was all right. I'm looking forward to season 2 now. And season 2 came. I was like, boom, I'm there. All over it. It was fantastic.
I do think in many ways it's a series that's better. Season 1 at least is better binge watched almost because of the pacing issue. I think.
I agree with you on that one. So I would say I really like both seasons, but I think I liked season 1 better. Because it was more of a self-contained. Okay, for a couple of reasons. 1, it was more of a self-contained story, and 2, they had less references to the larger universe in season 1. Like they didn't have actual Boba Fett in season 1, and when they they made it work, but when they brought real Boba Fett back, I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I didn't want in The Mandalorian. I didn't want Boba Fett. And they made it work, but it's still at the back of my mind, it still kind of bothered me that they brought him in at all.
See, that's basically kind of like the inverse of me with season 1. I was watching it going, this is good, but at the same time, it feels like Boba Fett light, you know?
Okay.
And once I got past that, once he kind of, once he established himself as his own character, that's when I was on board. But I will agree with you. When I was reading beforehand, and they were like, "Oh, Boba Fett's going to be in the new season. Bo-Katan's going to be in the new season. Ahsoka's going to be in the new season." I was like, "Holy crap! Are we just going to have endless cameos?" But you're right; they did make it work, and it served the storyline.
They made all of those work, but still, I was like, okay, yeah, it worked, but I'm also just. Can we stop retreading old things? That's why I liked season 1, because it was, it had some of the old things, but it was pretty much all new. Like they weren't retreading old stories or old characters. You thought maybe the Mandalorian, the main character, had something to do with Boba Fett, but he didn't in the end. He's just a guy who's really good at what he does. So, like, this, Jacob, your question to me, they were both great. They were both really good. I preferred the first season. Peter, did you answer?
Yeah, I said season 1.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But again, like, we're sitting here disagreeing on it, but also just not disagreeing.
I think before I watched it, though, before I watched season 2, I think we were all on a stream minus Kraggle on one of Scott's streams, and I remember us discussing it very loosely because obviously I hadn't seen it at that stage, and I think Peter said, make sure if you're going to watch it, you understand what happens in Clone Wars. And I think that was the best bit of advice Peter had given me, because I sat there then, whilst in lockdown, and watched all of the Clone Wars within about 2-3 weeks. And literally after that, then watching The Mandalorian, I went, oh, I've just seen them in Clone Wars, right? This is all starting to make sense now.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Okay.
So yeah, I got to thank Peter for actually recommending that, because there's a lot of lore.
Wait, we have to thank Peter for something?
Yeah. He gives good advice every now and then.
Watch out. He lives closest to me. If he takes out his anger on someone, it's going to be me. So you guys...
So going back to Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters!
Are you ready for the biggest spoiler ever? Joe, do you mind a whole bombshell of a spoiler?
I probably already know what it is, so proceed.
The opening sequence, we see Egon Spengler, and he's obviously done by a body double, and I thought it was really well done. And sadly, we see Egon Spengler's death, and he drops the PK meter when he's dead on the floor, and the music from the original movie sort of comes in on a different sort of like tone, I guess, and the PK meter lights up a little bit before the opening title. For me, if they had left it at that, that would have been enough. That would have been a fitting tribute. But instead, Egon basically becomes a character throughout the movie. As a ghost, he's kind of like moving things about, sort of guiding Phoebe to his workshop. Opens a drawer, moves a lamp, turns something on to kind of basically help, push her along and guide her.
Like in Interstellar?
God.
Yeah.
But it's done so well. And again, I was thinking, okay, this is enough. But then in a final battle, when the original Ghostbusters have been knocked down on their ass, and Ghost is about to wipe them out. And I have to say, in this film, Ghost is a lot scarier and feels much more of a threat than in the original movie.
Okay.
All of a sudden, this proton beam slashes across her cheek from behind. She turns around, and Phoebe's there with the proton pack on her own. And she fires the proton stream, and Gozer fires like this energy out of her claws. It's almost a little bit like Harry Potter, when him and Voldemort clash wands. But you can see it's completely one-sided. Phoebe is losing. Her mum's like, crying out for her. The music is rising. You think this is it? She's toast. Mm-hmm. And then she's only a little kid, so she struggles with the proton, the neutrino wand. It's shaking. She's not unsteady. And suddenly it starts becoming a bit more steady, and the camera moves around, and this blue kind of transparent hand goes over the top of hers, and then stood next to her is Egon Spengler as a ghost.
Oh, dude, you've recreated that perfectly, because you've got me going.
And do you know what? It absolutely shouldn't work, but fuck me, it did. There was not a dry eye in the house.
Not a dry eye on this blooming stream.
They did such a I think partially it works because he's a ghost. You get a little bit of leeway in terms of the uncanny valley, do you know what I mean? Because he's like, he's transparent, he's got a little bit of aura to him. But fucking hell, it looked like Hal Ramis. I mean, me and the Spaceman have said they were a bit kinder because Hal Ramis did put a bit of weight on in his later years, so he's a bit slimmer. But I understand the reason for that is that it's not so much a recreation of Hal Ramis exactly how he was. It's a recreation of the character Egon. And like in the earlier shots, when he was just a silhouette, he was a body double. You needed to have him be the same build as Egon was in the films. So to match up with that, they had to make him a little bit, oh my God.
Look at what my wife did to our poor murder face.
Oh my word!
Why does that cat wear people clothes?
I don't know. Honey, he is full of shame now. He is shamed.
Has anybody got a bell? Just want to go shame.
Now he's warm.
Now the shame is his balding.
Look, he's gonna die of depression now.
He loves it.
Say hi, honey. Just say
Hello.
Hello.
This is Emily. She's the one who puts up with me.
And all your
I'm
large.
so
Not
sorry.
well.
I feel for you. There are people you can talk to.
If you're in trouble, think twice.
I mean, I'm not being funny. Putting a human clothes on a cat is not a cry for help. I don't know what is.
I was going to say, hang on, should we be asking Joe this? Joe, if you're in trouble, blink twice.
Oh man!
Thank you. This is hilarious. Thanks.
Like it's obviously a dog sweater, but
Right.
it covers his bald bump.
He's been ripping out his hair on his back, and we don't know why. So
Well,
he's
that
getting
will
old.
stop it.
What?
I said that should stop it.
That should stop it. Yeah.
Who do we got here? Who's?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so there's Kraggle. Hi, Kraggle.
Hello.
We don't
We
see Kraggle.
Okay.
We think he's a murderer.
Okay.
There's Sam,
Oh,
and that's Peter.
Peter. Okay.
I
He was the one who was gonna come stay at our house.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and whose house I stayed at
Okay.
in Idaho. Yep.
He is definitely a murderer.
He is almost certainly a murderer. Okay.
Tom is doing you.
No, he bugged out.
Such a loser.
Loser. Okay.
All right, I'll leave you to your shame.
Okay, bye.
oh.
Okay, anyway.
Do you know what?
What?
I still can't get over the fact your cat's wearing people clothes. Just like what?
It's obviously a dog sweater.
You just need like a little Santa hat for it now. Just like maybe something just to go over his ears. Little ear.
Yeah. I mean, he's barely putting up with this. Like he would bleed me to death if we tried to put a Santa hat on.
One of my old housemates' cats, if you used to put clothes on it or even like a tea towel, the cat used to feign literally like it was the most heaviest thing in the world. They
Yes.
drop their back and drag their legs and go, "Oh my
And they
God,
just
this
kinda
is
like-
so heavy."
Yeah. In all honesty, I think he really likes it. Like he's purring like crazy right now.
Is that just because he's with you though, Joe?
Yeah.
We know what you're like.
Might be it. Sorry, bud.
Got that animal magnetism.
I love as well how Joe decided to sabotage what was a really emotional moment of the stream as well.
Hey, I didn't sabotage it. It was my wife.
I mean, Sam was there with goosebumps as well.
Mate, it wasn't just goosebumps. My eyes were tearing up.
It is a word. It's hard to explain. Like everyone I've talked to has said, like their fear was that they were bringing on back as a CG ghost, and they did it, and they made it work. And it just,
Okay.
like Mrs. Kraggle said, she's cried all 3 times during that scene, and then the full Harold bit at the end as well.
I kind of, when I saw the ghost though, I kind of expected there would be a bit that said "For Harold" at the end.
Yeah.
I kind of just went. I kind of went, yeah. This.
If there
this
wasn't,
is like,
it would have been a massive disservice, wouldn't it? You know.
yeah, I kind of went. This is a tribute piece here.
To be clear, though, like after Ghost is defeated, he doesn't say anything, which is great. I think that was a wise move. Egon doesn't say anything. It's just a look here and there, and the 3 Ghostbusters, they all have a little bit of a line with him, and Dan Aykroyd is proper crying. I feel like with those tears, they weren't just It wasn't just acting. I mean, he can act, but I feel like that was him.
Can he?
Yeah, he can. I've seen some stuff. I feel like that was him actually mourning his actual friend, as well. And it's like how they say a smile is contagious. It's almost like a tear is contagious, in that scene.
Yeah.
And then you have the thing where he has a moment with each of his grandchildren, and then his daughter, and then he passes over then into the afterlife, I guess. So they're not going to bring him back. This was basically just giving him a proper send off.
Yes, yeah.
Because I would have hated it if they brought him back as a CG character that's going to be in every film, sort of the new Slimer. Can you imagine? Because I had heard. I
can just see that happening. Anyway.
If it was the 2016 guy doing it, it definitely would have happened.
Okay, hold that thought. Let's keep talking about this. Okay,
honestly, the whole last 20 minutes of the film is a friggin' pulls at your heartstrings so much.
Okay.
To me, it was like if there was any doubt in my mind that this was a film for the fans,
okay,
that 20 minutes alone was worth the price of my ticket,
Yeah.
Okay.
So, when we said keep those tissues handy, that's what we really meant there.
Yeah.
Take them with you.
I'm in quite a few different Ghostbusters fan communities, and I would say 95% of people have felt the same way with that film. There's been, it's not unanimous. There has been people who said they didn't like it. One guy is constantly commenting on any post where people say they enjoyed the film, anything on there, letting everyone know that he hated it. I'm pretty sure that he's actually Spacetime Brick Studio. I'm joking.
I don't waste my time.
But, not everyone is going to feel the same way, but it's compared to how the 2016 was almost universally hated, and a small minority liked it.
Stand by.
He's going to mention that.
Seems to be almost it seems to have quite a high approval rate.
Okay, so I do want to hear not in a let's have conflict. I as someone who hasn't seen it, I would like to hear Peter's opinion on those same subjects. It's just kind of a
2018.
Yes. No. This one.
2016.
No.
Wait.
Afterlife.
Afterlife.
What about it?
Did you said you didn't like it?
I am extremely mixed on it.
Okay.
There's good and there's bad in it.
Okay. I guess I might have misheard you, so never mind.
I mean, yeah. I jokingly started it off. I said I hated it just as a joke. But yeah, no, it has from a filmmaking standpoint, it does have a lot of flaws. A lot of the new stuff they do is great. It's just a lot of the new characters don't have anything to do really and don't really have arcs. So from a story perspective, I don't think any of the main characters really have an arc.
Okay.
I disagree. But okay.
Because especially the brother literally does nothing except hits on a girl and gets the car running is basically what he does.
Okay.
The mother,
is that the one played by Finn
Yeah.
Wolfhard? Okay.
And then just story bits that just don't make sense to me. I guess at the very beginning, if Egon would have paid his electric bill, his plan would have worked and we wouldn't have had a movie. So, and then the whole entire plot point of Egon leaving the Ghostbusters, stealing all their equipment because nobody would listen to him, doesn't really make any sense at all.
Okay.
Nobody would believe him, and they just thought he went crazy because they're just there's no more ghosts. And then when he does get to Oklahoma and he discovers all this stuff and builds this containment system to keep the Gozer terror dogs at bay, he doesn't think to like take pictures or like send it to the other Ghostbusters and be like, hey, this is a real thing. So it's like there's a lot of logic that just falls to the wayside.
Okay.
But I think emotionally it makes you feel good. But I feel like there's a lot of logic and there could have been a lot better story done more with the new characters.
Okay.
So
Well, they do say busting makes you feel good, so just saying.
I'm disagree because I would say Phoebe has a strong character arc. I would say so does her mother. I would say Lucky definitely is one of the characters that kind of gets left out. But then I'm also of the opinion of, does every single character in a movie need to go through an arc? You know,
no.
if you're going through it, does every single person have to have, you know, some big development? Oh, I mean, I would say the brother definitely goes through a small change in that. Podcast doesn't. Podcast is pretty consistent, but that's fine. And I would also say, like, in the first movie, what was the character arcs in that movie?
Ernie Hudson got a job. A lot of weird racial stereotypes got reinforced. How about that? Oh.
Oh dear.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I think maybe the so the thing I liked about the first movie was that it was literally just a bunch of schlubs who should be exterminators being exterminators for this really weird thing. And that's kind of like the way they put it.
Yeah.
Like it was so matter of fact that it was funny. That was the humor about it. It was just like, oh yeah, we're exterminators for ghosts. What are you gonna do? Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Sometimes the arc of a movie is that it's the humor of the protagonist didn't go through an arc. Like they didn't learn anything from it. Sometimes.
No, I get that. I would say this film has some of the strongest arcs of the three proper Ghostbuster movies. Like I say that Venkman, one of my things I love about Ghostbusters 2 is that Venkman has grown between, and he continues to grow across number 2 as a character. I could talk about that. That's a discussion for another time, maybe. But in this one, you have Phoebe, who has this this talent for science. You can tell she's Egon's granddaughter through and through, but she also doesn't believe in anything supernatural. And she has this thing of like, she feels like, she almost doesn't have doesn't belong in her family. And by the end of it, she realizes that, she's just like her grandfather. She believes in the supernatural. She has this talent for, tackling the paranormal with science, which is what Ghostbusters was all about, taking something that shouldn't have any grounds in science and using science to beat it.
Which
and
again,
then you have Egon's daughter, who completely doesn't want to even say his name, who thinks that he didn't care about her, who thinks that he was a crazy loon and wants nothing to do with science, and doesn't really connect with her own daughter because her daughter's so much like this father that she never really knew. And, by the end of it, she realizes that he did care, and okay, he may have made some bad choices, but he cared for her, and she has a reconciliation with him. I would say that's more character arc than we got in the first 2 movies. And kind of going back to what you said about the comedy of them being extremely matter of fact, I feel like Ghostbusters isn't necessarily a franchise that needs these massive, character arcs for each individual character. But this one definitely, I felt, had the strongest emotional through line of all three films.
Okay. I guess I'm just trying to...
anyway.
Okay. I guess I'm just trying to get a feel for like... Yeah, the first one was just... It was a comedy through and through.
Oh, this one is funny. That was one thing that I will say that I was a little bit nervous about, because I remember one person who I can't stand their opinion, but they raised something, and I know I jokingly rib people for having different opinions to me, but I do accept people have different opinions. I do it for the comedy aspect of it.
Okay.
But this one person who I hate their opinions, they like the 2016 Ghostbusters. They were watching like the first two trailers, and they said it feels like they've taken Ghostbusters as this sacred text rather than just the kind of offbeat comedy it was, and they made this art house film about it. This is when they said when the trailer, and I did say to the missus, my main concern is there's not a lot of comedy in the trailers, but when you watch the film, it is funny, and that was one of the biggest, pleasant surprises for me, was that they hadn't forgotten.
I guess that might have been my question or my concern was, is it still a disruptive comedy like the original one was?
Yes, it's not like the 2016 where it's like hysterical, run around screaming, slapping your friends, making fart jokes comedy. It's more character-driven comedy,
Okay.
One good thing in there that I know you're going to love, Joe, is there are some good dad jokes in there.
Oh, wonderful.
There are some brilliant dad jokes in there.
Why can't you trust atoms?
Why can't you trust atoms?
Because they make up everything. Boom!
If I hadn't already heard that one 1,000 times.
But you know what's funny, though, is the person saying the joke and the way they deliver it. Because I heard it as well. But the way this person delivers oh my God. It's brilliant. Paul Rudd is really great in it. I was disappointed that Paul Rudd doesn't get the strap on a pack, though.
He doesn't what?
Get the strap on a photon pack.
Oh, okay.
Maybe next time. I don't know.
Maybe next time.
Because he was like, I know for years when they were saying if they're going to do a new Ghostbusters film, he was on the top of a lot of fans' lists who should be part of the new team. So I was really excited when he got cast. And he was a good character in it. I know Peter doesn't like him because he has no character arc. But
I loved Jacob here. The last thing he wrote was, yeah. Remember that one, Jacob. Just write it down, put it on your wall or something.
Have it tattooed on your forearm.
Yes, seriously. Sometimes a movie just doesn't have an arc, and that's the arc. The humor is that the protagonist doesn't learn shit. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so here's the question. Keats, do you wanna chime in on this one? Ghostbusters 2016. Yay or nay? And if nay, does it have any redeeming qualities to you?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
That
might be a broad question, but
for me, I saw it for the fact of it was a humorous film, and I paid no attention to the fact that they were trying to line up to the Ghostbusters in any way, shape, or form. I just took it as a comedy film, and I was like, "Yep, all right." And then there's the odd reference to things, and you're like, "Yeah, just pretending that doesn't happen or doesn't exist." I didn't enjoy the whole ending of it, the whole ghost battle, and the dance off and whatever the hell was going on there. I thought that was just an excuse for, or it felt like it was played as an excuse for Chris Hemsworth just to get his abs out, which made me feel very insecure. But other than that, it was a film. It happened. I laughed once or twice. I won't deny it. Any redeeming qualities? No.
Okay. So we have a solid, aggressive, very opinionated meh from Sam.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Meh. Okay. I can't wait to hear what Kragle says.
I'll let Space Time go first.
Okay.
I have not seen the film, and I don't think I would have a fair opinion of it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with me, is that some people
All right,
say...
folks. Strap in, folks. Here comes the Welshman's opinion.
Some people say, like, oh, I wrote it off beforehand. And whilst that is true to an extent, it wasn't because it was an all-female cast, although that did kind of irk me. Not because I don't like females, but it was kind of like how they kept on making that a point, a selling point. Was like, oh, it's Ghostbusters, but all-female. Like, it was like, okay, but why is that cool? Why is that different? What does that add to it? I'm not a fan of the director. I'm not a fan of most of the cast. I like, is it Kristen or Kristen Wiig? I like her when she does serious roles, but as a comedian, I don't find her funny.
Okay.
I friggin' hate the fat one. What's her name? Melissa McCarthy. I cannot stand her. She does my friggin' ball sack in, honestly. I have not seen her in anything I have liked. But I put off watching the film.
I did like Spy. I think that's the one movie I liked with her.
I haven't seen that. So.
Okay.
Is that the Mila Kunis one?
Maybe? I don't know if Mila Kunis is in that. Anyway, I remember enjoying Spy a lot, but please continue. I generally agree with you on that.
But I did not so much boycott it. I just didn't want to go see it, so I didn't see it. And I remember seeing lots of clips and reading lots of stuff, and I was pretty much, I think, about a third of the way. Is it Red Letter Media's review? I think me and Space have talked about it. He pretty much shows the entire film. So about a third way through that, I was like, F it. I'm going to watch the film. I'm going to try and like it. I want to like it because as a Ghostbusters fan, I don't want there to be a bad Ghostbusters movie in existence. I want them all to be good. So I went in there with as open mind as possible, and oh my god, it's like I opened my mouth and they shat on me from a great height, and it went in my eyes, my nose, my mouth. Somehow it aimed at my anus. It just, filled every single fucking orifice with just shit. That's the best analogy I can give you for that movie.
Okay.
Things I like about it, and the thing is, there are things that I like about it. I love the flight suits. I thought the new design for the flight suits with the horizontal stripe were cool. And when I see people at conventions cosplaying the characters, I always ask for a photo of them because I think they look cool.
Okay.
I like the idea that they tried to show you them developing the technology more, but it just looked crap. And the problem is whereas the original proton packs had things on there like the clip-on valves, and they looked like they were things that Egon and Ray had put together. The proton packs and everything in this film look like mass-produced, manufactured products as opposed to something that these 3 or 4 scientists have put together.
Okay.
I didn't mind the Ecto vehicle. I just hated that it was called Ecto 1. I hated mostly the fact that Chris Hemsworth character gets a motorcycle and goes, hey, I've got Ecto 2. In fact, his whole character is ridiculous because this is before the whole the massive thing we have at the moment with gender flipping characters. But they basically said that Chris Hemsworth's receptionist character is flipping the role of Janine. Now,
And he's not.
in Ghostbusters, Janine isn't like hired because of her looks. She isn't just some idiot who can't feed herself. She's got street smart. She's sassy. She answers back. And from what we see, she's a competent receptionist, and she even, stands up to Walter Peck and the police when they try and barge in as well. Yes, okay, she fawns over Egon, but not to the point where she becomes this, whelping damsel in distress. And of all the Ghostbusters she falls for the most intellectual one. So again, that could be seen as a positive. Chris Hemsworth is literally hired because he looks nice and the girls feel sexy. He draws a pair of tits on the No Ghost logo and is so stupid that he can't answer a phone because it's inside a fish tank. And he's literally there at the end to take off his shirt and dance for people. That's all he's there for.
To me, the whole movie felt like it was a whole lot of improv.
Yes,
but they didn't refine the improv.
No, it felt like an entire sketch from SNL.
Okay,
that just went on for far too long.
This is it, because the first Ghostbusters had a heck of a lot of improv. In fact, number 2 did as well. But they had a script, and the script was written with Dan Aykroyd, Hal Ramis, and even Bill Murray had some input on it as well, though he turned up a lot later because of other commitments. But what they would do is they would film the scenes as they were, and then they would do other takes and go, is there a better way of saying this? And they would riff on that. But the structure of the film, the scenes were all planned and rehearsed and, and thought out. In this film, there's behind-the-scenes footage, which I think they show on the Red Letter Meter review, where they're at a scene and the girls, the actresses, have just gone off on one, and then they mention the firehouse, and they turn to the camera and go, "Oh, can we do a scene now where they go to the firehouse?" And he's like, "Yeah, why not?" The director be from behind the camera. That is not how you make a movie. Do you know what I mean? Just make it up as you go along. Like, oh, should we have them go to the firehouse? Yeah, why not?
Man. I almost regret asking you about this, but this is exactly what I was expecting.
And there's a scene where one of them gets possessed, and then you have the hysterical, non-scientist character start slapping her, going, "Get out of my friend, you idiot! The power of pain compels you," and she starts slapping her across the face. And guess what? It works. The ghost comes out. I mean, that tells you all you need to know about a fucking film.
Oh, boy.
So, I'm a solid meh. Kragle is a solid don't freaking talk to me about it.
I almost regret asking.
Jacob.
Yeah,
You knew what you were paying for when you bought the ticket. I'm referring to when you asked me, not the film, by the way.
Okay. It does have a redeeming quality. It could have not been made. Okay. I mean,
Mrs. Kragle
feels very strongly about it. She's put emojis.
Yeah, and also the fact that Mrs. Kragle loves Chris Hemsworth, and she thinks it was basically a disservice to Janine as well.
Okay. Yeah, and it was mad to me. I wouldn't say I haven't seen it since I saw it in the theaters, but it was also just I had friends who were kind of like the whole, male rights kind of people who are like, oh, they just making this because there are women in it. So kind of like the opposite of what you were saying, Kragle.
And that's
annoyed with those people. What was that?
That's part of the problem is that there were, I would say a very small, well, not very small. There was a small vocal fan base that were basically saying that women shouldn't be allowed near Ghostbusters and all this crap. Utter bollocks, right? And the media just went with that, and they tried championing what is really a crappy movie, mediocre at best. I think it's the highest praise.
Yeah,
because they're like, oh, fight the bigots, fight the sexists by enjoying this movie, and it's really not the kind of movie to champion.
Yeah,
and then what's happened actually with Ghostbusters Afterlife is we've seen the opposite now, where loads of critics are slagging it off, going, oh, it's a film that panders to a sexist fan base. Which in itself is nonsensical because the protagonist of this film is also female.
Okay.
I mean, Phoebe is the main character. It's her movie. But it's done in a proper way. I mean, I don't think the majority of Ghostbuster fans ever had a problem with female Ghostbusters. You look at Janine and Dana in the first movie, and part of the comedy comes from the fact that Dana's probably more competent and clear-headed than the people she's hired to clean up her shit. You know?
That's true.
And then you have, like, Extreme Ghostbusters in the 90s, which actually had a much more diverse cast, before... forced diversity was even a thing. Extreme Ghostbusters was a sequel series to Real Ghostbusters.
Really?
And it had Egon mentoring a new generation. Basically, Egon was a college professor, and he had 4 of his students. You had a paraplegic, you had a black man, you had a girl, and you had Latin American man. So, but none of them were defined by that. They were just well-written characters.
Okay.
And if you're going to do like diversity as Ghostbusters, a lot of people wanted them to be a live-action version of Extreme Ghostbusters. Obviously, we didn't get that, but we still got something friggin' awesome. And Phoebe is a character that I'm excited to see more of. I want to see more of Phoebe Spengler.
Okay.
If I was a sexist, then I wouldn't, would I? You know.
Unless you're like, yeah, I want to see more of Phoebe Spengler. Oh.
Dude, she's 12 years old in the movie.
What was that?
She's 12 years old in the movie.
I know. That's what I said. It would be really weird if you said it like that.
It wouldn't be weird. It would be predatorial. Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Oh, look. It's the forehead of security.
What? Huh?
Anyway, I feel like I've got a lot off my chest. And I feel...
And I've loved this journey for you, Kragle, but
let's talk about something else.
We might need to get you some help.
Hey, you said you loved it when you heard someone talk about something they're passionate about. So
I know.
Ghostbusters, honestly, I will say, is my favorite movie of all time, and Ghostbusters as a franchise is something I've never had a dark age of. Not a Lego I have, Ghostbusters I haven't. So
interesting. Okay. You're thwapping your tail at me. What do you want? You can get down.
Oh yeah, actually, before we move on completely, Mrs. Kragle's put a comment. I love the tweet Leslie Jones did when they revealed Ghostbusters Afterlife was being made. It was hilarious. So for those who don't know, when Ghostbusters Afterlife was announced that it was going to be a sequel to 1 and 2, Leslie Jones, who was in 2016, said she hates the fact they're ignoring their movie. She said it feels like it's a Trump thing where we're going to remake Ghostbusters but with men. Bear in mind, that was literally the mantra for her film, just with women, you know? It's like she doesn't even know where there was a Ghostbusters movie before hers, you know?
I'm almost wondering if she was saying that ironically, because...
Here is the tweet in question.
There you go.
So insulting. Yeah, there are things that are blurred here. Obviously, I don't care about people.
Huge.
Yeah, we didn't count it. It's like something Trump would do. Trump would going to redo Ghostbusters. Better with men. Will be huge.
Huge. Ugh.
So annoying. Such a dick move, I'm guessing. And I don't give a fuck. I'm saying something. Well, you did.
Okay, cool.
But it comes across like she's not aware that there was a previous Ghostbusters movie. 2 of them.
Yeah.
Well, and this is how Hollywood works nowadays: is they try something new, it doesn't work, they get super scared about it, and so they just try.
I'm going to stop you right there. They did not try something new.
Okay. You're right. You're right.
It's funny because it's true.
They try something safe but different. I don't know if that's even the right way. Okay, never mind.
No, you're fine.
I get what you're saying.
Okay. Okay.
I just love how Space Time came in now with that nugget brilliant.
He came in hard.
He came in and he dropped the mic and he flexed and fled. Flex and fled. That's his mantra.
Wow. Okay. All right, Peter. All right.
I told you. That's his thing now.
Yeah. I love it. Okay. And you know what? I am done with bag 3.
And I bet you've not even started making the space station yet, have you?
No, that's the main truss.
Looks like something else, mate.
It's not a phallic symbol, if that's what you're asking. Those are back there.
I was going to say, it's a bit thin.
Says
no
who?
girth to it.
There's size for everyone. Well, Ghostbusters. What was that?
No, I was going to say, I'm having a hard time making hexagonal steps.
Oh, yeah. That does sound difficult.
Hexagonal step. So,
for my Gozer temple.
Oh, this is good. Can you share a screen for us? Because I want to see this again.
Yeah.
If one good thing came out of the movie for Peter, it's that it inspired him to make this mock because this is glorious.
Okay, I gotta see it, and then I gotta run and grab something. Oh, hello.
So it's work in progress. I think.
I see what you mean. Yes, mate. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I was trying to do hinges and tiles, but I think I'm just gonna cheat
and
give this front facade because I got to build steps going up to the pyramid.
Yeah.
You're gonna need some long ass plates on the bottom. It's probably gonna be the easiest way.
For what?
6x16. If you use 6x16, that'll get you at least 16 studs back, but it'll cover you 6 wide at the front.
Yeah. So
6x16.
Yeah, there's a 6x16 plate.
I know, and them's expensive.
Yeah,
Space wants to actually make this as well.
And then these plates in the front are going to disappear. These were just for me to get my stud locations.
Okay.
I do want to build wedge plates to basically have this just be a facade because, ideally this is going to be the edge of the building. Nothing. So fall off the edge. So,
Ray, when someone asks, "Are you a god?" you say yes.
Are you a god? Well, yes, actually.
Are you a god?
And I made this wide enough so all 4 of them can be standing there with plenty of space.
And you're going to have any jumper studs on there so you can position the figures in place? Or
I probably will. I just have it, tiled off just right now.
Now, is this going to be some kind of like forced perspective so it looks like that?
Yeah, I think so. Because this pyramid's going to get raised up a little bit. And,
okay.
Yeah, because I think I want to build an inside here so it's like just all black.
Ooh.
And then I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the clouds circling the pyramid.
So, do you know what you could do if you don't like mixed elements? Is get cotton wool.
Yeah.
Break it up around it. I've seen people do that with model making. It looks really good. That's if you don't mind having like non-Lego stuff in your display.
Yeah, if I take
what kind of monster are you?
I would just have to take it out if I to take it to a convention because a lot of them are strict on
I have to go grab something downstairs. I'll be right back in a minute, guys.
Okie dokie.
Be right
That
back.
looks really good.
So I show you what I've been working on?
Yeah.
If anyone cares.
Yeah, go on. Let's see what you've been working on.
Oh, what the hell? There you go. So I finally done the slope roof.
Oh, check you out.
There you go.
I also did some upside down building to get the round window.
Very nice.
So that basically is the same brick held upside down with a plate with bar with a plate with clip. You can kind of see
Yeah,
in there.
they do something similar like that in the diner.
Oh, I can't remember that, but I just saw someone did an Instagram post and kind of like looked at what they had done and tried to sort of backwards engineer it for the window, and then done the roof. I need to then figure out how I'm going to do this roof bit and this bit because they kind of need to go in separate directions.
Okay.
But overall, I'm pretty happy with this so far.
It's
Good job.
looking good, mate.
Sorry, what is this supposed to be?
This is the Spengler, the dirt farm from Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh.
And are you trying to keep this? I know, yes, the other day you were playing with keeping it digital only. Are you going to try to build this with actual colors?
I think I'm going with digital only. Sam, I think, wants to have a go, but if I have a look at, let's see, what is it? Model info. Yeah, it's already like 146. 40.
Mate, that's nothing. Come to me when you've made something that's 500 quid.
Oh yeah, someone commented on my
Sorry?
on the
Sorry. I'm sorry. What?
Oh, sorry, Joe. Yeah, I forgot. It's not a competition.
I know it's not, but sorry, go ahead.
Someone commented on the TARDIS video saying that they wanted to get it until they realized it would cost them like 400 to 500 quid.
Yeah, there was a guy who messaged me the other day, actually, and said, how much is it going to set me back? And I said, well, looking at today's BrickKeeper dark blue prices, this is going to be roughly around this much. And he goes, I was ready for you to say 200 quid. Not 500. He goes, I'll have to have a think about it. I said, mate, fortunately, dark blue is very expensive and didn't come in a lot of things.
Is it me or has it gone up? Because I swear, from when you originally were talking about it to like now, in the last 6 months or so, it's jumped up as well. Dark blue in terms of a lot of the pieces. When I was looking,
I'll tell you why. Because I am selling instructions. And that is why. I guarantee you, because I'm actually selling TARDIS instructions.
Is it because they stopped making this?
There's not enough dark blue in there, mate. Go away.
I always thought Joe was the kind of guy who likes a good fist in it.
Yeah, seriously. Actually, I got that up when I visited Peter up in Idaho. I won that for having the best space theme thing.
No, we don't do themes. It was just overall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was my consolation prize for driving 12 hours. No.
Is that because you had LC39?
That's when I had the first half of it. And I brought way too much stuff all that way. Wow. What was I going to say?
I'll have to go to a convention. That's one thing I'm not done a Lego convention yet.
Oh.
Me neither.
It's still on my Lego Virgin checklist.
They're not really a thing in the UK, though, are they? Like the ones I've seen have been more aimed at kids, where they're like kind of like just ball pits with bricks and stuff, and they have tables where they teach kids how to build little assemblies. They're not like proper AFL conventions, what I've seen.
Yeah.
Like normally, I gotta be honest though, the last couple of conventions I went to in 2019, they had some decent Lego displays. The one in London Film and Comic Con, they had a big, massive Mos Eisley display, including the Falcon, the one that is taken off at an angle, the UCS Falcon. Yeah, they had that there. And also, when I went to Collectomania in Birmingham, they had a couple of lugs there, I think, showing off their mocks, and they had different sizes and stuff. In fact,
that's my lug. That's the lug I'm a member of.
When I went to Action from a Comic Con, they had, and for some reason, the footage corrupted of this, probably because it was too freaking awesome. This is before the Afterlife Ecto came out. someone had done like Creator Expert or UCS scale Ecto 1, DeLorean, Knight Rider. And they were in a row. And I was like, can I just have these?
So, in other words, they created a 1980s car porn scene.
Yes.
Excuse me a minute. I just need to. Yeah, I'm just gonna slide out here and just readjust myself.
Nice.
Yeah. Ah, there we go. All good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can I show my instructions here and ask your? And I'm glad Peter's here. I would like some quote unquote professional opinions.
You
That was brilliant.
you can ask Joe, but I will tell you that I've kind of grown attached to having black instructions.
I really like your instructions, man. Those were really nice.
Oh yeah, I wonder who could have possibly have given him that idea.
And like I said, I won't take credit for it because Kragle did say, "Hey, dude, why don't you try the Stargate instructions with a black background?" And I went, "Yeah, that's going to be hard to see." And then I looked at it and I went, "Actually, I'm kind of getting a little bit aroused by this." And when you think about it,
the digital instructions they work better as well because you don't get the screen glare as well.
yeah, they did look. It just looked really smart. And even with the black arrow, which actually has black pieces in it, it didn't look bad.
Oh yeah, because you've redone them, haven't you?
Yeah, the black arrow instructions, the instructions I sell for that are just the black ones now. I do not sell the white background ones.
Huh. I kind of settled on a gray color for my background.
Cool.
Okay.
Because so much of what I do is like it has so much black pieces in it. So I don't know.
But anyway, what's your questions and your advice?
Well, let me do a share screen. Whoops, I'm gonna go to my main screen for this. I think 2 screens. That's my problem.
I've got 3, mate. So.
Oh, girl.
What?
What?
Why is it that the space-time answers when you go girl?
Yeah, I was like, I don't understand what's going on.
Right. Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
girl. Okay.
I have one problem straight away.
Okay.
And I'm only going to say it because it's exactly the same argument you've said to me.
Okay.
Are you sure that brick's in the right color, mate? Because I don't know if I can substitute that brick out with another color brick because you've used all these fancy colors.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
I have one issue straight away, but that's because I have OCD.
Go for
Why
it.
is number 13 closer to the dividing line than number 14 is?
Let's find out. Because that's where it automatically went to. But that's the kind of OCD that I need, man. There we go.
Oh, that's better. I like
Yeah,
that.
That's better.
Yeah.
Better.
Now, this is actually one of my questions because I've decided to put the step numbers in the upper right-hand corner, but sometimes the part call out gets too close to the number.
Got you.
So, what are your thoughts on that?
So I always make sure my step numbers are always in the upper left hand corner because that way then the parts come after it and then I can have the part that go all the way across a page if I'm doing a single page instruction with a load of parts on it.
Okay.
Or big piece parts like plates and stuff like that. That's just the way I've gone for it because something like the Black Arrow has lots of big long plates. So that kind of works for me.
Now, my standard used to be I would put the step number in the lower right-hand corner.
I just think about reading a book or reading a page, and the first bit is always in the top left for me.
Okay. And the way I saw it was put all the stuff. Well,
I always put the submodel, the submodel of what I'm building, down in the bottom left.
Okay.
Because then I can always put in a text box underneath it to say what the thing is I'm building, if it's relatable part. So, like Prospero and the third stage motor and second stage, they all have a text box underneath the submodel that says this is what the hell you're building here. Obviously, they do also have a full-on description page relating to the real-life thing in front of it, but that's different.
Okay, so I'll tell you what the unique thing I'm trying to do with these instructions and why I'm asking is, so this is for my Skylab, and I'm kind of redoing it.
I thought I recognized it.
Yeah, of course you did. But what I'm really trying to do is, I mean, I absolutely loved what you did with your Black Arrow, where you pretty much did one step per page, which is great if you're only doing PDFs. But I'm very much considering for Skylab, just for kicks and giggles, doing a limited run of a printout instruction booklet, just for fun. So I am trying to limit the number of pages.
Are you insane?
I have to say, I'm more disturbed by the fact that in America they say kicks and giggles as opposed to shits and giggles.
Well, I say both. I will say both.
Oh, okay. So you go both ways.
Then
sometimes, depending on the mood I'm in, kicks and giggles sounds funnier, and sometimes shits and giggles sounds funnier. Anyway.
I am going to be picky and a pain in the backside already.
Nope, this is why I'm asking.
Because in this step, you've got the submodel underneath your parts list. On page 1, you've got the submodel at the bottom left. And on page 5, you've got it underneath. And I'm just there going, dude, come on, a bit of consistency already, man.
And this is why I'm asking. I mean...
I will say, now he's pointed it out, I agree with Sam. The number, I feel like, belongs on the left-hand side rather than the right-hand side.
Really?
Yeah. Just so, as a Western society, we read left to right, don't we?
That's what true. I was going for. The fact that
so in this page you would go for this.
See, no, because I would make that parts list fit inside that box. I wouldn't have it on the separate line, so I would scale that parts list down to an acceptable size that it would go alongside that 13.
No, I like it underneath.
Okay. So let me give you my rationale. I'm trying to leave as much of the step area as possible. So I'm trying to get these things out of the way. So that's
why I would put it on the top, because it's out the way, leaving you as much step area as you need to, you know.
So like, So here are the three options, 13, 14, 15. This is what my brain likes to see in 15.
Dude, you're making me get mine out now. Give me a sec.
Oh no. So these are the reasons why I'm asking you guys, is because like this is a unique set of instructions for me. I know how to make instructions. I've made thousands upon thousands of pages of them. And I'm not exaggerating.
Hello, BFAB. He says, CutTheKragle sent him. I find that hard to believe. I think you just wandered over here because you heard there was chaos going on.
I told you, I did a community post for you.
I know, I liked it. I saw it, I liked it.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Be
so
grateful.
I am grateful. You're here, aren't you?
You don't sound grateful. Oh, it's like that. You always root me when you've got friends around.
That's not true.
he's got a little bit of self-confidence, and so now he's like, I can make fun of people. Because if I make fun of one person, I can fall back on the other people.
I will be honest here, Joe.
Yeah.
I am looking at some of my instructions, and I am feeding you some bullshit.
Okay. All right.
Feeding you some.
I'm listening.
I've already found one page in my Black Arrow instructions where I say, yeah, I put the submodel at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
And for
like
this
it.
one page, it's in the top right. But
So,
let me get a page in question that was similar to your 13, 14, 15. And
okay. And take a look at it. So there is a difference between a submodel preview and submodel steps. So
I think mine was submodel steps, so I might cut myself off.
So
that's how I've done it.
And you make your part call out much smaller than what I make mine. What percentage are you?
That's a good question. Quite possibly 50, 60%.
Really?
But that's the other thing, though, Sam, is when you've got digital instructions, you can zoom in. If he's on about doing paper ones, you can't do that. You can just bring them closer to your face.
Because because I'm doing digital, you can zoom in and go quite clearly see that's a 2x2 plate.
So that's why I think it would work better having it, down below it where it has more space. Then
I would almost be inclined, Joe. And I don't know how everybody else feels about this, but if you're shoving your part number on your single instruction pages like this, if you shove your part over to the left, you can obviously put your parts list over to the right-hand side, and you've got tons of space. It's out of the way, not a problem. Doesn't affect your step model, your actual model, or your step call out at all. Great idea.
Okay. Something to that effect.
Yeah. Because it's all the information is still there on a page. It's a single step page. I know I'm not going to get lost. You can look at it and go, yeah, I need two of the 8 half rounds, and I get everything I need from that. And even at the fact that I'm looking at this, obviously scaled down on your screen, on my screen,
right?
I can still see that really well as to what parts I need.
Mm-hmm.
And not just because of the fact, obviously, I've built this before.
You done built this.
Built twice.
Okay, so all right, and I guess I'm just it's me just kicking against the standard thing where Lego always puts their number in the upper left hand corner. I'm just like, I just want to do something different.
Yeah, I get that, but you can do it in.
Have you tried making your instructions in Aramaic?
Yes. What the hell kind of question is that? Yes, of course.
Okay. So,
why?
Then you can go right to left,
And backwards.
It's got a point. It's got a point. You can't argue with that.
Means. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just okay. And stylistically speaking, that background color.
Yeah, that's all right.
Does it offend you?
It doesn't offend me.
Okay.
It doesn't arouse me.
It doesn't. Yeah, I'm not excited by it like I am the black ones, but obviously you're trying to print these, and printing black is very expensive.
So let's just hold on, time out for shits and giggles.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you
don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay.
I don't know. If I try, I could be offended by it.
What was that?
If you try to be offended. Isn't that what
It looks so good, but like, I don't know.
This is the thing, right? Kragle first mentioned it to me, and I went, nah. I was very much like, the black instructions I never really got on with when they were printed out from Lego and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, no, don't agree. I was like, but then I had another chat with him. I was like, do you know what? Screw it. I'll try it and see what it looks like. And I did it on, I think it must have been the back end set of the instructions initially of the Stargate. And I looked at it and went, oh, damn. Oh,
yeah, you
oh,
messaged
damn.
me. You were like, you've upset me, and I was like, what have I done specifically to upset you today? And you were like, you were right about the black instructions, and I was like, oh, cool.
Tell your sister you were right. You were right. Tell your sister you were right.
See, I don't understand that scene because he doesn't look like Christian Haydenson.
Oh, thanks, George Lucas. Okay, that gives me. All right, guys, you've confused me.
I know it doesn't
more.
help because, like you say, you want to do a limited run print of these.
Yeah.
Personally, I think your grade's fine for print.
Okay.
I personally, I would review your number and your part list placement, but
and that's what I was hoping I could get some real solid opinions on, but
that's me. I treat it. I always do, like Kragle said. You know, in the English society, we read from left to right. So you got your number first, so you know where you are, what parts you need, and then underneath what parts what you putting on the model.
Okay. Whereas my brain goes, this step number is the least important thing on that entire sheet.
Oh, I totally agree. It is the least important thing, but it should also be the first thing because that's the first thing you're going to look at to go, I've not missed a step, have I?
Think about it. When you go see a concert, do you put the headlining band first?
Yeah, just so you can go home early and get it over with.
If anyone was going to make that remark, it was going to be Peter, wasn't it?
Yeah. Boo music.
I just think of that scene from Family Guy when Stewie's at Woodstock and he's like, hey, I know some of you guys out there are smoking marijuana. I just want to say that's illegal.
Can we try to keep it down?
Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to think about that nice and hard.
But I suppose it also, the other thing is that I always try to do, and I think it's something you told me, is always keep your orientation of your model the same throughout each step. And if you have to change it, put the little rotation-y thing to say you're changing it so people know. But other than that, keep it the same. So you're kind of there limited by what, the way the model is.
And step 51 here is the first time that the perspective changes in the entire. I stuck to that.
I think the first time the perspective changes on mine, on Black Arrow, was something like step.
All right, it's not a competition, folks.
I know.
40, 46. Because I tell you to start working on the engine. So,
gotcha. Okay, last question. Let me get down to the solar panels.
Oh, those things. Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
we'll use this as an example. So to put 2 steps on a page, I actually cut off part of what you're building. Lego never does that in any of its instructions that I can find. What are your thoughts on me doing this right here that you're looking at?
Okay.
I know we're getting into the nitty gritty here, but
I've adopted the no, but that's because I'm sure that's what you always told me as well. Don't cut off any part of it.
I sure as shit never told you to do that because I've done that all the time.
It wasn't you who told me, but someone told me don't cut it off.
So this is one of those ones where I almost feel like Kragle either has a real hard opinion on this or he don't give a fuck. What is it going to be, Kragle?
What are we talking about again? No, I'm fine with that. It's just like you zoomed in, that's all. I would rather that than waste space having the whole friggin' model on there and you gotta look tiny, especially on paper instructions. So I say cut it off, man.
Okay. I was going to say, again, the difference here is you're doing this for paper, not for digital. So for paper, I feel you can throw most of what we do digitally out of the window.
Okay.
Like,
and if you're patient enough and really want to build my Skylab, just watch me scroll through this whole thing.
Mate, all right, I gotta head out.
Oh, you do?
He's gonna go get some bricks for Skylab.
Okay. Good luck with that. Anyway, okay. Those were just a couple of. I just wanted to hear some opinions about, like, I'm doing this differently and I'm second guessing a lot of my norms. So that's it. I'm done. I'll stop sharing now. Cool.
Well, Peter, did you say you have to go?
Oh no, I was joking.
Joking.
He said if we sat here, he would build it for us.
Oh, I get you.
Uh-huh.
Why is this not working?
What are you trying to do now?
These bricks, I've got snap on, and for some reason, they're literally going through a piece. Like, what is your problem?
You probably get craftsman instead.
Yeah, it can be where you grasp it. It can be where you, the point of origin, the origin of where you were looking at things. And
I'm just trying to clone something over and just move it over. But when I do, it just goes mental on this plate. I'm just, it's.
So have you tried using the snap tool?
Yeah, it's just been a bastard with me.
Okay. Is that the only thing that's been a bastard with you?
That's a good hairpiece for Gozer.
That was the best non sequitur ever. Okay, so what's our next topic of debauchery?
Fitting a hairpiece for Gozer.
Oh, the flat top. It is actually a flat top Lego hairpiece, isn't it?
Yeah, I have it on here, and I don't know. I'm just not feeling it.
That's what she said.
Here, I'll show you.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel that.
I mean,
that's the one I was going to use when I was going to do my own minifig of her. So
crazy lady with pixie cut and bubble for skin. Yeah, that works.
All right, got that done.
You know, for years when Ray says aim for the flat top, I thought he was on about the pedestal that she stood on.
I mean, I still thought that until recently as well.
Really? Because I thought of World War II aircraft carriers. Whatever.
Oh, Joe.
So I had a weird experience the other night.
Okay, it's not that kind of stream.
It's not that kind of weird. Don't worry.
We go on.
I was at dinner with one of my best friends, Cameron Neely, who occasionally listens. Hey Neely, what's up, dude? we were at a restaurant, and he's a history teacher, and he's way into like World War II history.
Cool.
So I can't even remember what we were talking about, but it had something to do with like World War II bombers. And we said something that only we would find funny about World War II bombers. And so I laughed pretty hard. And this lady just randomly walks up to us and is like, "Oh, was that a funny joke? Can I hear it?" And we're like, you wouldn't get it. We were literally talking about World War II bombers. You wouldn't get it. And she's like, "Oh, how about a dad joke? Will you tell me a dad joke?" And we're like, "Oh, oh boy."
What alternate universe is this where people walk up to people laughing and want to know what they're laughing about? Who does that?
I mean, on the one hand, I kind of felt bad because I'm like, oh, she's probably lonely and just needs to talk to someone. But no, her husband was right there. So,
so she definitely was lonely.
Yeah.
Sure, I remember, right, I used to go to the cinema with one of my buddies, and we used to go for a pint first,
Okay.
and basically rant about our week, go see a movie, and then have a pint afterwards and rant about the movie.
Okay. That sounds like a good night right there.
It was like all the troubles we had in the week, we just used to put the world to rights. And
to quote one of my favorite movies, "Points, they come in pints."
One day we went to the bar in the cinema, and I went up for a slash, a whiz, a pee, whatever you call it in the States. I came back, and this woman was sat in my seat, and she was at least like 10, 15 years older than my friend, but she had sat in my seat, and she was basically just throwing herself at him, and he just looked so uncomfortable that I went over, and I wrapped my arm around her and went, "Are you ready, dear? Let's head off now." And you should have seen the look on her face. It wasn't like surprise. It wasn't doing. She was actually angry. Like you could see, she blatantly did not approve of homosexuals. You know.
Oh dear.
Oh boy. No, that's good, Cryo.
But I was more taken aback by the fact how angry she was. Like, and then we got up, then we went off. And he said, "We will never speak at this moment again." And I said, "Okay." And I've just broken that promise. I mean, technically, I didn't tell him, but I've talked to other people about it.
Oh, that's great.
What I should have done is just jumped in his lap and put my arms around him and kissed him on the cheek and gone, "Daddy."
Daddy, can we go now?
Hey, Daddy.
Oh. I had some friends in high school back in the late 90s. Thank you.
Why are you clarifying when you were in high school?
Because sometimes I just have to remember that you guys are all like 5 to 10 years younger than me. And the 90s was a different era. I just had a couple of friends who played, they called it gay chicken.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
They would just see how far they could go with each other before the other person got super uncomfortable. And
I never got that.
Did you go to?
What?
I didn't play that. The first I remember hearing about that was on an episode of Scrubs.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Cox plays it with Brendan Fraser's character. And I just remember thinking, like, if this is a game for homophobes, then surely the winner is actually in the closet.
Yeah. No. So the way I looked at it is, if my friends who were girls played this with me, I'd still be uncomfortable.
Wow, you need to get better looking friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like
people who played it, because after that, I remember there were some people who played it in my high school, and they were ones who were really homophobic. Like, they would use being gay as like, a put down and stuff. And I used to think, well, I'm not being funny. If you're playing this game, and like the winner is the person who will go the furthest, doesn't that mean that the person who will go the furthest is the more likely to be what you're being so hatred of? It just made no sense to me.
Right. And the reason I said I went to high school in the 90s it literally was a different time period. Like that never crossed our minds. Not only were we immature teenagers, we were immature teenagers in the 90s. And I have come a long way since then, which is, I mean,
debatable.
The point of the story was, the point of my story was one of my friends just straight up full mouth kissed my other friend, and just like we were like, okay, that's it, the game's over, you won.
Why are we talking about this?
He was actually bisexual, so there we go.
I was thinking, like, why did this come into conversation?
I thought Joe was going to tell
about...
me he experimented with soggy biscuit.
Is that what you call it?
Well, come on.
I don't
You've
even
heard
know.
of that, Kraggle.
What? I've never even heard that term before. So
Have you not?
no.
Would you like enlightening?
I'm not sure I do. I feel a bit like scared now.
It was a term I was roughly was very
I
quickly
mean, you are
brought
a
into when I
military
was in the
man, so
military.
you know. Sorry,
I said it was a term I was very quickly brought into when I was in the military.
I was going to say, yeah, you are a military man. They do weird shit in the military.
Yeah, we do.
Like invade countries for no reason.
Exactly.
Oh my god, where is this conversation gone?
I don't know.
I think I've got to say tonight's stream has probably been one of the most structured for debate in a long time.
You think so?
Yeah, well, there's been
enjoying it.
Yeah, there's been good, concise arguments of why people don't like films, why people do like films.
I'm actually a little bit disappointed because we've heard my opinion, we've heard Space Time's opinion.
And oh boy, have we heard your opinion.
I feel like we haven't heard much from you, Sam.
What about
Ghostbusters
Afterlife?
Yeah.
He said he was crying in it.
Yeah.
But he was crying when I was talking, but that happens quite often.
Yeah, it's because you make me upset. I go to bed and cry myself to sleep.
Oh, well, that's kind of disappointing. I was hoping you wouldn't even go to bed. I was hoping you'd just like cry on the floor.
No, it gets cold around here, mate. I need to get in bed. It's warm there. You want my opinion?
Don't get made fun of.
You want my opinion? Ghostbusters Afterlife, good film. Go see it. Really enjoyed it. There's good action sequences. The comedy is all right. There's good dad jokes. I thought so when they said the dad jokes. Am I weird? Maybe. Who knows?
No, Sam. The answer is yes. Yes, you are weird.
Yeah, I just absolutely loved it. Didn't think, thought much like yourself, that the use of the original Ghostbusters was like the perfect amount. They weren't overdone. They weren't in every scene. It was just what did make me laugh though was the fact that all of the kids had no idea that the previous Ghostbusters were even a thing.
You'd think that would be caught in like history class or something. Like it was so epic.
No, it was like literally Paul Rudd came along and said, "Oh yeah, Manhattan in the 80s."
Well, in all fairness, the older kid had, like Finn Wolfhard was like, "Yeah, I know about the the Manhattan 80s ghost stories. He knew about it, And
Podcast did because
no, Podcast didn't because that was the thing.
He didn't.
Because that was one scene I absolutely loved. Because Podcast is this character he's the same age as Phoebe. He's 12 years old. He's into like all conspiracy theories and the supernatural and all kinds of like the world is run by aliens and stuff. And when they bring the ghost trap in, they don't know what it is, Phoebe and Podcast. And Paul Rudd's character looks at it and goes, "Oh my god, kill a replica." And they're like, "A replica of what?" And he's like, "A trap." And they just look at him and he looks at Podcast and goes, "You of all people don't know what this is." And Podcast just goes, "I am ashamed," and hangs his head in shame.
I remember that bit now you mentioned it.
Crying with that bit. But you know, at 12 years old, a 12-year-old nowadays, right? When this is set in 2021, because they obviously moved it up. When were they born? What, 2001? No. Wait, no, that's wrong. That's bad maths.
Very bad maths.
2000.
You guys say maths. That's so fun.
2009, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I know people who didn't know that Ozzy Osbourne was a thing. Like when he did the collaboration with what's his face? The guy with tattoos on his face.
Tekashi 6ix9ine?
No. Oh, what's the guy?
Like
Homeboy Nick Tattoo.
Huh?
That's Bieber?
You on about Mike Tyson?
No.
Gene
What's his
Simmons?
name? I'm trying to think of his name now. Oh.
Is he a rapper?
Yeah, he's like hip hop type thing. I can't remember his name now.
Okay.
He's trying to be an actor as well, but I can't remember his name.
Post Malone?
Post Malone, that's it.
That's
So Ozzy Osbourne did a thing with Post Malone, and loads of like people on the internet were going, "Oh, it's so good of Post Malone to give this old timer a chance. Like he's obviously never had a career before, and now he's, you know, imagine how amazing it must be for him to get this big break this late in life."
Ozzy Osbourne had a career, lost it, had another career, lost that, had another career and a reality show, kind of lost that. And now
But
he's
this is the thing, like, you know, would a 12-year-old even know of him? Do you know what I mean?
Seriously.
But to be fair, they also said that the same of Paul McCartney when he was doing something with Ed Sheeran, I think it was.
Oh, yes, the same thing. They were like, oh, yeah, who is this guy? It was like, he's one of the friggin' Beatles, you
He's
moron.
one of the Beatles.
No, I'm not a huge fan of the Beatles, but I totally respect them for what they did for music.
Exactly.
But you are aware of them,
They
right?
are.
Yeah, but this is
Anyway.
kind of like, I'm being funny. We live in a time where today's generation don't know what MySpace is. Like, there's that famous tweet where someone put, "I wish Twitter had a thing where you could put music and pictures and stuff, and people come onto your page and they can hear your favorite songs." It's like, what, MySpace?
Yeah.
So I thought it was believable that Phoebe and podcast didn't know about the Ghostbusters, especially if like the storyline is that her mother, Spengler's daughter, has kind of kept that side from her.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, look. How old are you, Kraggle, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 35 and a turd.
Yeah, whoa. That's a lot of turds. Right. So you're only 4 years younger than me. Sam, aren't you like 32?
I'm the youngest. I'm just 30.
30. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's how much it's changed that I had to say, oh yeah, casual homophobia was a thing back in the 90s. Like, it was everywhere. Like,
I mean, look at Ace Ventura. I love that film, but
Yeah,
how transphobic is the ending of that movie?
oh,
And
yeah.
that was a film that they made a cartoon series spin-off for kids on, you know?
Yeah. So when I say that, I have to be like, yeah, that's not the way I am now because I'm a fucking grown-up. I grew up. But now I look back on it with a different like perspective of like, wow, we were just so casually ignorant of everything going on around us.
Do you know, I kind of first realized about casual homophobia when I went to college, because in my high school, it was just the norm. Like it wasn't so much a homophobia in terms of let's go and beat up the gay kid, but like you would make jokes about being gay, and you know, it was like, and like I don't remember like, doing it myself, but just being in that environment. And it wasn't until I'm so glad I went to college and expanded my horizons, because honestly, like a lot of my friends were originally going to stay on in my high school for sixth form, which is basically like an extra 2 years, and I decided to go away to college instead. And it was the best thing I did to get out of that environment, because I look back and I freaking hate my high school years, and I hate that high school. Like it was just a horrible place.
Hmm.
Like if I think someone when was homosexual, having to go to school in that environment must have been awful for them.
Well, and then yeah, of course. And then you look at things like a lot of movies from the 80s and 90s, like they'll have a joke about homosexuality, but the punchline is simply in its total, that person is gay. That's the joke. That's what's funny. Whereas,
that's why I'm surprised that Friends has got such a resurgence and it isn't being questioned. So much old stuff now is like being picked apart, and I get it, but at the same time, I also think you have to appreciate the time in which stuff was produced.
Yeah.
You don't have to laugh at it, but you can't kind of go, oh, there's no way. You know what I mean. But it's Friends.
And if it makes you uncomfortable, then by all means, don't watch it and don't.
Yeah, I mean, it should be that you look back at past stuff and we've progressed and improved as a society, really. Yeah. If we're not, we're just stagnant,
No, I was just watching a thing on a 90s show that was being praised on how it treated homosexuality. Was Frasier.
Oh, really?
Because all the time that there were jokes about homosexuality, it wasn't at the expense of the homosexual person. It was at the expense of Frasier for being so stupid and not being able to realize the situation he was in.
Yes.
Okay.
But which is totally different than Friends.
Yeah, and the thing is with Friends, there's a lot of transphobia in that as well, isn't there?
Which I've become super sensitive to because I have a transgender sister-in-law. You change, you grow up in life, and you regret things you said in the past.
I mean, I've never been a fan of Friends. I'll put it out there. So
okay.
I probably if I can not like Friends, then.
Sorry. It just sounded like you were about to say, let me be clear. I've never been a fan of homosexuals. That's where I thought you were going for some reason.
No, that's not where I'm going.
Okay.
But I'm worried that you thought that I was that kind of guy.
I'm sorry.
I'm actually embarrassed that I bought the Friends Lego sets. And
really?
I no longer own them.
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm all for appreciating stuff at the time it came out, and you don't have to laugh at something. You can just sort of go, well, I'm glad we've progressed past that. But what I don't get is the immunity that Friends seems to have as a show to the kind of scrutiny that other properties get. I mean, it's just bizarre to me. I just don't understand it. I've never understood the appeal of the show Friends. So if someone can explain to me why it's so immune to the scrutiny that other shows and films do,
because it was how people wanted to live with their friends in the city in the 90s in a totally unrealistic manner.
I know, because they never went to work. They just sat there in a coffee shop.
But why is it got such a why is it looked at so greatly now when something more recent, say How I Met Your Mother, people are already starting to say, well, wait a sec, the way that Barney treats women is not okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I get it.
It was on NBC must-see TV, so it had to be good.
Yeah.
That means nothing to me.
Have you ever seen those?
It was Saturday night in the 90s. Must-see TV.
Yep. And I don't know what to tell you, Kragle, other than it was very beloved at the time. I mean, my very religious, straight-laced family would sit down and watch Friends every night together.
But didn't you tell me that they were homophobic or something? So wouldn't that be fitting?
Granted, but it was also just the culture at the time. Unfortunately, it was like I was saying, a lot of media was the butt of the joke is that this person is gay. Yeah. God, when I was in college the first time, early aughts, it was very common for someone to go like, "Oh, that's gay." Like, just the word "gay" was.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and it like when I had a bisexual friend.
I've worked in high schools for the past few years, and it's like kids still say that.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
That is shocking.
That's real weird.
I would have thought that would have died out. That's kind of disappointing.
And it took a bisexual friend to sit me down and say, "Hey, that's not cool to say." That I was like, "Oh, I get it." And then it took me forever to get that out of my vocabulary.
I mean, there's going completely off on a different angle. There's one thing that I really hate that seems to be in a lot of Americans' vocabulary is their go-to insult, which I really hate. And if you play online gaming, you no doubt have heard it numerous times from kids.
Online gaming, I haven't. There's a reason I stopped online gaming, sir, and that's one of them.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Would it be a British slang for a cigarette?
No, it starts in R.
Yeah.
Yes, America. Okay. In the UK, no one uses it anymore. Really, it's like a word that's died out. But I hear it so much from Americans.
And it depends on what circles you run with, and it's probably more like younger kids who do that.
Oh, definitely online is younger kids doing it. But I have been on a couple of streams and someone said it, and I've just like been so uncomfortable.
And that's another one that took me a long time to just kind of like get it out of my vocabulary.
See, and then there's my weird association with the word because it's used in electromagnetics and physics.
Yep.
You have retarding waves in physics.
And in music, you have retardando,
or
slow down.
Retard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
taking a word from physical science and then warping it into an insult. It's like I'm not defending the use of the word because most people don't even know how it's used in physics.
They're not using it in that.
No, they're totally not.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's just an instance of a word that has actual meaning, just being destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what really bugs me is that people get so very defensive about like, well, I can say whatever I want, and like they like fight tooth and nail to be able to just be kind of
an asshole.
Just like when did the concept of freedom turn into meaning I want to be an asshole and therefore you should let me be an asshole?
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, but like, don't expect me to treat you like an adult if you can't treat other people just try to treat other people with respect. I don't get it.
No, I agree.
I thought everything was perfect over there in socialist England.
Socialist England? I'm not even in England. I'm in Wales, sir.
I know. That was my doubling down on the ignorant American is.
Oh, you certainly lived up to that one.
I was gonna say, flying stars, mate.
Well, if there's anything we can say about Joe is he tried. That was about it. He tried. We'll give him an E for effort. Oh boy.
Well, we've tackled some strong issues in this stream.
Seriously,
I was going to say this has been an emotional, deep stream tonight. I'm impressed with us. I think we found a whole new layer.
That's what my doctor said.
You need to get that checked, mate.
All of what you just said is what my doctor told me. A deep stream.
Okay, that's 2.5 hours. So
Tim's like, I'm done. I can't.
no, I'm just concerned for your deep stream, mate. You know, and I don't want you to cause any other issues. Do we want to go for a little bit longer, or?
I just wanted to make a comment that, like, God, I hope the producers from Lego Masters don't find this one.
I was going to make a comment about that earlier.
That's why I didn't tell them about this one.
Just don't tell them
I don't.
that this exists.
This is why I don't show my face.
And you know, I may make fun of you for it, but I don't entirely disagree.
So,
oh boy.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up here.
Okay.
Let's start with space time.
Yeah.
You can anything that you want to plug, say, do.
Monday afternoon, going to be building Spider-Man No Way Home sets on the stream. Everyone here is welcome to attend. And yeah, gonna get ready for the movie on Thursday night.
Oh, that comes out this week. Okay.
Cool.
Awesome.
Kraggle.
I'm busy. Come back to me.
Okay. Joe.
Yes, sir.
Plug yourself.
Come check out my stuff on Skylab Bricks at on Etsy. Go look at my Flickr site too. Look up Skylab Bricks on Flickr. I have pictures of all kinds of things there.
What's Flickr?
Flickr, it's when you do this. No, it's a site where you can post pictures.
You know,
so I
for
just
kids.
So
what was
it's
that?
Instagram.
For the kids, so they know what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It's a place where you can have photo albums, and I just have a lot of my creations there.
Oh, like Facebook.
And on Facebook, you can find me on Facebook under Skylab Bricks or just Joe Chambers. And I'm on the Bricks in Space site often. Not too often, but sometimes.
He turns up occasionally.
I turn up occasionally. Yeah. Still unemployed and just started my job search this week. So anybody need an electrical engineer who's kind of neurotic? Just give me a call.
Cool.
Cool.
And with that note, let's go back to the Welshman, see if he's ready this time.
Yeah, I don't know. I have lots of stuff in progress, but nothing particularly near in completion. So I'm not sure what content I'm going to have next week. Oh, actually, I am going to have a little review of some new custom pieces I got sent, which is kind of linked to today's topic. And I'm going to continue doing my daily shorts of opening the Lego Marvel Advent Calendar. They seem to be doing better when I put them live at midnight. So at midnight tonight, there will be a new one. That's UK time. So if you're in the States and going, why is he uploading this a day early? Read up about time zones. It's on Wikipedia. You can find it on your phone.
I'll be sure to leave a comment.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, so Kraggle's leaving us with the message of checking time zones. Joe wants you to check out Flickr. Space Time wants you to see his stream on Monday, and I just want you to come along next time. You know, I'm a simple guy.
Oh,
You know,
beautiful.
I don't ask for too much. Now I finally rebuilt this thing. I'm gonna do a review on it. I say a review, a video on it, on what I've done, and where you can get your hands on the instructions for one of these things.
And it's Joe Chambers tested and approved.
He
So,
does like it. He
I
said
do
it was
like
good.
it. It was a well made design.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's probably the nicest thing you've said in a while.
Shut up! I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Okay.
Wow.
And on that note, folks, we will see you next time. Good night, everybody.
See ya.